right? So I like to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutation to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. So going back into the last video, what was we saying? When shall be the end of the wicked? Because that's what's coming, and the Lord is showing us. If you see what's going on in the world, what's going on in the world right now? You got recession kicking in, right? They're saying by 2023, recession should really kick in. And we're just right around the corner from that. Then you have the whole, what they call the purge law in Chicago that's about to kick in at I believe the end of December or something like that, right? So you got people losing their jobs. You still got people getting evicted. So there's so many things taking place in the world right now that's showing you that we are at the end, right? If the U.S. send if the U.S. send missiles to Ukraine, Ukraine shoot those missiles at Mother Russia. Russia saying they're going to shoot missiles back, not just only at Ukraine, but also the U.S. So there's a lot of conflict that's happening right now. The U.S. and Iran I believe they just did a treaty for defense or something like that. I forget the article, what the article said, but there's so many things that's going on. And guess what? All of these things are prophesied in the scriptures. The scriptures is telling us what's about to take place. And it's put in our spirit to go out in the highways and byways and make these videos and tell Israel that these things are at hand. Tell our people that these things are at hand. Our power have great judgment coming to the world. So again, 1 Peter 4:7, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer, right? So let's get this real quick. Second Ezra, I believe that Second Ezra is the 9th chapter, if I'm sure. Salakia, this shit pops up. Salakia. Won't skip the goddamn video. God, you know what I'm saying? This shit, it's always something, right? Right. So Second Ezra 9 and 5, it says. Actually, I'll start at 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the times diligently in itself. And this is why we got to always keep our eyes out for what's going on in the world. It doesn't, if we're on YouTube, we got to watch shit. We got to watch podcasts. We got to see what they're saying on there. Like Kevin Samuels, before he died, brothers was watching him. Now you got Fresh and Fit, they're doing their thing. Then you got other podcasts that Jake is doing that, we as prophets are watching. That's how these podcasts is another way we know how out of order our women really are, and our men on top of that. Israelites, right? We have to watch certain news channels, no matter if it's 7 o'clock news, CNN, NBC. We have to watch alternate news. We have to do a lot of things in order to keep in touch with the times that's happening, so we could report on these things and put the scriptures and also line it up with the scriptures, because these things are prophesied, and this is what's keeping our people, the remnant, updated with what's taking place in the world, which by speaking on these things shows how closer we are to the coming of Yahweh Shai. So it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the times diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he had made. And we're going into that. We're going into Matthew's 24, right? And we're going to get that after this. Finish that off after this. So it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which that's about to happen heavier than what it is now, because when this recession starts kicking in, people are gonna protest. Protest eventually turns to rioting. Rioting turns into what? The destruction of property, right? Fires, businesses, homes, cars, all start to get burnt down, which also takes a hit on what also hits the economy, right? So it says, when Salakia. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right? Because this referring back to, I want to say, Isaiah 46 and 10, somewhere like that, where it says, for I have declared the end from the beginning. It says, for like as all that is made in the world have the beginning and the end, and end. And the end is manifest. So the end is being manifest. The Lord is bringing destruction to America and all across the world. This is the prophecy. This is prophecy. Right? The scripture says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. This is what the scriptures is talking about, man. This is what the Spirit is upon us to talk about, man. Whether you people like it or not. Right? So going back to that Matthew's 24, right? Matthew's 24, and it says, Matthew's 24 and 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, which a Mashiach means chosen. It's not Christ, because the word Christ goes back to oil. It goes back to Salaki. Bear with me for a second. Right, so it goes back to anointed, and the etymology of the word goes back to oil. So anointed oil, that don't mean anything, right? It's actually a Mashiach, which the chosen, right? For many shall come in my name, saying, I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So you're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. That's what's going on in the world right now. Russia against Ukraine, right? The U.S. sending weaponry to Ukraine. Now you got threats of thermonuclear attack. You still have China looking toward to attacking Taiwan. That's why they're building a chipping plant out here in the U.S. or in Arizona, right? Because eventually China will invade Taiwan. So it says again, Matthew 24 and 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginnings of sorrow. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and ye shall and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. It says, and because iniquity shall bind, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So there you go. Right? So that's prophecy. That's going to be the time that's going to take place before the coming of Yahushua. Right, Khan. I had to grab a charger real quick, but 2nd Ezra 9 and let me see. You know what? Yeah, let's start back at 2nd Ezra 9 and 5. It says, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Right? So a part of those signs will be what? If you go back to, let me see, I want to say that's Acts or in Joel. Let's see, Acts 2 and, right, Acts 2, and let's start at 17. Let's start at 16. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Now, because just because you could say something that's going to happen in the future doesn't mean you're a prophet. A prophet means to be a spokesman of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which means you speak for Yahweh Yahushua. He put the spirit in you to speak certain words. Just because you can have a dream of America being destroyed don't mean you're a prophet. Just because you could say, oh, the economy is going to collapse doesn't mean you're a prophet. That's not what that means. Just because you could prophesy doesn't mean you're a prophet. It doesn't mean that at all, man. Right? It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. And you have right now, you have a lot of Israelites, not even just Israelites, man, even people across the world making videos on the coming of the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai. And the crazy thing is that there was a lady who had a vision of the Lord coming back, and he was a dark-skinned man and very pissed off, man. She said he looked at so fearsome, she was scared, man. It says, Salaki, bear with me. It says, and your young men shall see visions, and your old man shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaidens, I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will show wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, and blood of fire and vapors of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and noble day of the Lord come. And you can see signs like that is happening, man. Blood moons and wolf moons and all this taking place. The Lord setting the world on fire. A lot of things is taking place to show you that the coming of Yahweh Shema Shai, it's coming, man. It's coming. Right? So let's keep going. 2nd Ezra 9. And then we're gonna go back to 2nd Ezra 15, but let me get more to 2nd Ezra 9. 2nd Ezra 9 and 6. And even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, which we just got in Acts 2:19. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works. What works do a lot of you Christians have? Nothing. Right? I'm going to end it from there and start it back up. And I'm going to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKadosh. Double ones to the apostles and elders of GMS. And salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Shalom.